big day has finally arrived. It's the coach who will wear the crown as a Super Bowl champion of the Madden Ultimate Team Playoffs. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Tennessee Titans and the Madden Legends. With that, let's head on up to Foxborough. Standing by with the call at Gillette Stadium, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And we are underway in Foxborough. Fielded about a yard deep. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Breeze now on first down. And a first hook up with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opened things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. Throwing on first down is Breeze. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. That his first incompletion after a 4 for 4 start.
Yeah, but they should... back off from what they're doing. I like the play calling right out of the gate. I like the tone that they're setting. Keep going in that direction.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Tight end right. Ready. Blue 80.
Again, it's Breeze. And that's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
That's just flat out a terrific play, because it's rare that you see a hitch route batted down. That means someone read that one really well and was right on the spot when the ball got to the receiver.
Now Breeze. And that will be incomplete as well.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Gold is able to put it through. And the opening drive of the game yields 3. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Base 24. Check 59, Mike.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now he's going to send this one deep right side. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 3 down, 3 down.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the hometown guys with a football here to begin this second quarter of play. They've got a second down and 8 to start things out.
Strong left, strong left, strong left. Ready. We waiting.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. This will be caught by Brown. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Here we go.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Right. Tight right here. Tight on the right. Tight on the right. Ready. We waiting.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Man open left side is Brown. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
4 down. Let's go.
Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Dumps it off to Gurley. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this.
Here we go.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job is a little bit easier for this half.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10. So here's Vic following the interception, eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Hey, four down, four down. Ready. We waiting. Ready, let's go.
After the INT, it's Breeze. He gets it to Gurley, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Powerful running. It's complete to Brown, right side. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7.
Ready. We waiting.
Now, Breeze again. Caught on the right side by Adams. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Breeze now 11 of 16 through the air. It's first and 10. Again, they'll throw with Breeze. Again has it complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Four down. Ready. We're waiting.
Breeze to throw again. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. Devontae Adams, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Madden legends will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Gold now out to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Hey, let's go. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. Eagle. Stop. Wait.
Vic operating on first down. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. As the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Vick will look to throw on first down. He's got it to Hilton. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. On first and 10, here's Vick. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Akeem Talib. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Hey, let's go. Interception. Pick. Nice pick.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes Michael Vick now leading his offense back out there. And that first half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously, right? So you've got to get him in rhythm. And we always think of short passes. I think of jet sweeps where they just kind of toss the ball forward. You know, that counts as a forward pass. And then you can say to him, look at that. You completed 3, 4, 5 in a row. Now you've got to get your confidence going.
Eagle.
A first down throw coming for Vick. Steps away to his left. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
That's it, baby. That's it. Let's go block you now. Alpha.
Vick on second down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Lawrence Taylor coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Blitz. Orange.
Third and long for Vick. Buying time to his left. He'll let this thing go for Sanders. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor.
All day.
Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
Yellow lady. 91.
They'll try to start the drive with Gurley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on third down. From the gun, it's Breeze. And this is going to be incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. A first down carry by Elliott. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down.
Mike's 5'9", Mike's 5'9".
Vic now. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And that'll bring up fourth down. Desperation time. Vic on fourth down. Being chased out left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Ziggy Ansah able to get in and run him down for what'll be a loss of 15 yards. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. On first down, it's Gurley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Tight ends on the Lucy. Tight ends on the Lucy. Tight ends on the Lucy. Ready.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout.
21.
But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
4 down. Ready. Ready.
Now Breeze on third down. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So with that miss, Charles, you have to figure their fate. It might be sealed.
Yeah, you needed 2 scores. So you take the field goal first and then worry about getting the ball back. But that may not matter now.
They go play action here on first down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
Throwing again, Vic on 2nd and 10. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
4 down. Ready, set, move 90.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And now just 3 seconds before the 2-minute warning, they're going to call a timeout here defensively.
Tight end right. Ready. Ready.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll try to pick up the first with Gurley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
Vic to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. Because if you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Here we go. Double tight, double tight. Here we go, here we go, here we go. 3 down, 3 down. Ready, ready for shot.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee.
Double tight, double tight. 3 down, 3 down. 3 down, 3 down.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
That penalty is declined.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Double tight. 3 down, 3 down. Hey, ready.
Drew Brees with a kneel down, and that ought to do it. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
Quick, quick. Tight left, tight left.
One last shot for Michael Vick. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is dropped it incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout, and they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
The veteran Matt Bryant set to rock and roll. And off we go from Nashville. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Double tight. Hey. We got three down.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And this first play will get him back to the 25, but that's going to be it. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop.
Yes, sir.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Good stop, D. Good stop. Let's go. 52's the mic, boys. 52.
On second down, Elliott takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
They can't move the ball on us. Good hit, baby. Good hit.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Eagle 44.
The give is to Elliott. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run it with Elliott. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration.
Lake. 552.
A give to Elliott. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Hey, Lake.
Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
23 yards on the play.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Two times. Hey, Lake. We got 4. Salt. Alpha.
That was second down throw for Vic. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 16 yards there, a Tennessee first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Lion. 300.
This is Elliott. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Ezekiel Elliott, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Titans take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. Here's the dangerous Tyreek Hill. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at about the 32. Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Check 9. Get up! Kill.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Heavy, we got heavy. Check, go!
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. He's going to loft one deep left side here.
I'm coming after you.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 56 yards. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense, with 2 guys going up for the football. Which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt. The will, as well as some really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Titans now. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
Two times. East left snub. We got three, fellas.
Right back to him on first down. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to Tennessee after this.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Odd. Three down. Odd. Eagle.
Now Elliott, and he'll take this one up close to about the 45. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Titans moving quickly here. They're in the hurry up.
No, check that. We're going to Mike. Base 52. I got you. Double.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Eagle.
Running with Elliott. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Check four. And let's go black 2-9. What is it? 190. Mike 2.
They'll try to throw it here. Vick forced out to his left. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Elliott, and he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Mike Daniels makes the tackle. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. They'll run with Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. Now, the drive-in's in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team. They'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
4 down. There we go.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Double tight. Double tight. 21. Three down. Let him go.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no. We now proceed to the start of the second half. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Tyreek Hill set to return it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2,
Hey,
no?
let's go.
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll try to run for it. Here's Williams. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Double tight.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
We got heavy. 11. Scoot up. Heavy. Switch. Hey, white. Hey, let's go.
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And a guy that knows a thing or two about making tackles behind the line of scrimmage, Kevin Green, at it again.
Talk about the ferociousness that he played with. And you remember that long flowing hair that came out of the helmet? Almost like a lion's mane for him, right? Try to keep a lion away from what a lion wants to get. That was Kevin Green, trying to block him when he was trying to accumulate quarterbacks and guys with the football.
And the ball moved up here now to 2nd and 7 following the penalty.
Hey, we got 3 down.
Now it's Ryan. Throw right side is hauled in by the tight end Gonzalez. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
When Tony Gonzalez makes catches, sometimes I feel bad, like it's almost routine. And that's really not what the deal is. This is a guy who has to work his way open on every play because he's such a featured guy. But he's also a guy that throughout his career, there's a little bit of a loyalty and a soft spot for Kansas City, his first team. When he went to Atlanta, did you know he kept his mouthpiece from Kansas City?
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, 28 yards. And the Falcons are in for 6.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
And, Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Ray Lewis up from his linebacker spot to make the play.
I think when people start talking about the greatest Ravens of all time, Ray Lewis's name comes up pretty fast, doesn't it? Tackles like that, just the tip of the iceberg when you start to talk about his talents.
He was their second pick after the move to Baltimore. What was that, 96?
Yeah, 1996. Jonathan Ogden was the first.
And Ray Lewis also two-time Super Bowl champion and the MVP of Super Bowl 35. That is incomplete. Vic with the incompletion there on third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Titans on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7.
We got 3. We got double.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Let's see what you got.
Back now in Nashville. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Watch 88. Salt. Orange.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Steps away to his left. And this is caught, but they say out of bounds. It would have been a first down, but he couldn't stay in, and as a result, they're going to have to give up the football.
Watch tight end. 4 down. Check. 21. Watch two. Hey, let's go.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Freeman again, a first down carry. Down right around the 25. The big man, Jarrell Casey, in on the stop. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Oh, yeah! Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Here's Ryan. Throw left side, complete to Moss.
Oh, here we go.
And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Let's go.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
Check.
On second down, here's Ryan. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Jarvis Landry from 8 yards out. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Paper. Eagle.
From the gun, Vic. He's going to let it fly. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Michael Vick. Dancing to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Grady Jarrett in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Throwing, Vic. Buying time to his left. Now a desperate. He's got a man. Complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Hey, let's
So
go.
now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Base 52. Hey.
Vic to the air again. And he's going to drop this off to Williams. Complete. It's a gain of 7. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Titans moving quickly here. They're in the hurry up.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game.
Watch 88. Single.
From the shotgun, it's Vic. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. Greg Olsen was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Hey, let's go. Single. I got a single in the slot.
Working out of the gun, Michael Vick.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope. I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team, as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game.
Tennessee will kick this one off. Number 10, the kick return.
And this is going to be covered up by the Falcons. And that should just about seal it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are...
It's the second round of the Madden Ultimate Team Playoffs. It's the coach in Orlando as we get you set for the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Tennessee Titans and the Memphis Steamers. So with that, let's head over to the heart of Texas.
Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and we are underway from AT&T Stadium. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
Hey, let's go. Double tight. Tiff. We got 4.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott.
Check 24.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Run.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, hottest game,
Let's go.
but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Double tight. Base 52. Hey, we got 3 down.
Here's Elliott. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. He'll be brought down at the 43. Joey Bosa in on the stop.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now here's Vic being chased out left. Hard throw, incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. They will indeed go for it. Vic, that's complete to Sanders. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Well, they... Deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
Orange.
First down, Vic. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
A first down carry by Elliott. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Vic on second down. Over the middle, complete. It's Neal. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a 3-yard gain. Here's Vic. And this is going to be incomplete. That's already the third time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the three.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and I think those numbers are going to increase.
Vic to throw on fourth down. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. So that is twice on the opening drive that they've gone for it on fourth down, and they've converted both.
I don't know if they're using analytics, which might tell them, hey, more times you go for it on fourth down, the better your odds, the better your chances of succeeding. But let's face it, most teams are not going to go for it.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter.
You see me? They can't stop me out here.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Eyes on 10. Eyes on 10.
To throw, Vic. Forced out to his left. He finds some open field here. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Bus stop.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up. But he's still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
Heavy. Watch the backfield.
On third down, Vic steps away to his left. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Double. Check 50.
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando, and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
That was 2nd down throw for Vic. And Reed with it over the middle. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another first down. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Titans moving quickly here. They're in the hurry up.
Yo trip is here, baby.
Alpha.
2nd down, Vic. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
The pressure there was definitely enough to make him alter his throw, because if he had time, he had a man wide open and had a chance to get it to him.
Yeah, I think if he had just another split second, that's a completion and a touchdown. This is 3rd and goal now, 80,000 on. And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown.
Blitz.
Michael Vick taking it in. And the Titans take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Elliott now to kick this one away. Tyreek Hill on the return.
Double tight. 4 down.
319.
They'll start out on the ground as Saquon Barkley. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. The return man is Hill. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Rodgers to throw on second down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On first down, Rodgers. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hill. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
We got 4.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Black over. Under 10. 10. Hey, Mike.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. Oh, a nice spin. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It'll be a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll also be the final play of this third quarter.
Yeah, baby. Two tights. 3 down, 3 down. Orange. Check Mike now.
Vic to throw it. Dancing to his left. And some room to roam now. And avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
They'll try to sweep with Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. Second down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
On second down, Elliott. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Titans on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. And they'll let their fullback try to push the pile. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left.
Here we go. Let's go. Base 52.
10th carry now for Elliott. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Double tight. 4 down. Alert.
They go to Elliott again. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
On third down, that's Elliott. He needed 9, he got 8. And that's going to leave him with a 4th and 1 on their side of the field.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left.
Watch tight. Tight ends right. Watch tight. Orange. Salt. 4 down.
Despite the late lead, Vic's going to throw. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left.
Check 88. Salt.
Vic. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
You got him.
The NFL playoffs are upon us. It's the coach in Orlando, and you're tuned in to Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports.
Here's Blair Walsh now about ready to get us started. And here we go. We're underway in Madden Ultimate Team. This one taken just inside the 10.
Hey, late. check. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Hey, let's go.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Alpha, alpha. Hey, let's go black 2-9.
Vic readies to throw. And Olsen over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. 23 yards on the play.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Flash the stick skills on that run, but then stop shy of the 35. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Tight end right, tight end right. Hey, late, late. 4 down.
Vic now. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Toss up to Elliott, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Mike 50, Mike 50.
They'll try to run for it with Elliott. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4. Now Vic on 4th down. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. Well, certainly not how they drew it up. A 4th down gamble turns into a... Fourth down scramble, but all is well. First down. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Let's go black 2-9.
They'll try to throw it here. Vic flushed out right, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. Volunteer Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Titans with the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Second and goal from the 1. He'll get it up the middle. And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Lorenzo Neal punching it in from a yard away. And the Titans are able to strike for 6. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
Fielded about a yard deep. Shoves him aside. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Hey, let's go! Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's Michael Vick. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Vick will look to throw on first down. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through him. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. From the gun, Vick. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
White 20.
On third down, Vick out of the gun. It's caught left side by Cooks. Now another timeout here called by the Titans, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Brad Wing now to punt it away on fourth down. Back deep is T.Y. Hilton. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. And you look at the numbers, not only has he not caught a pass, they haven't targeted him yet, and we're coming up toward halftime.
And you remember our meeting with the coach beforehand? What did he tell us about him? I write his number on my play sheet, and I circle it in bold type because I want to make sure he gets the ball and often.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 yards on that play for the Titans. A first down throw coming for Vick. He's going to sling this deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route there for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another first down. Vic operating on first down. Buying time, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
Double tight. You got three down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Tackle made that time by Michael Johnson. Now here's Vic. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. From the shotgun, it's Vic. And that is going to be incomplete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
4 down. White 80. Here we go.
Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early.
Offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
White 20. White 90.
Working out of the gun, Michael Vick. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch. And most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Give him 9 on the carry, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down.
White 20. White 20.
This will be the final play of the half. Vic into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Can't hear you now. My bag. Hey, let's go. My bag, guys. Check the backer. Mike's 50.
They'll throw now on the final play. It's a screen to Ricky Williams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. So we reach halftime here with the visiting Titans taking the lead into intermission. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Now Michael Vick and the rest of his offense getting ready for their next drive. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5. A full start backs them up 5. First and 15.
Hey, white 20, white 20, white 20.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. They get 1 yard back there to make it second and 14.
Hey, let's go.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at
20.
half seems accurate.
20.
That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
To throw, Vic. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Fielded just inside the 30. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And it'll be Titan football. Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the third. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Vic on second down. Being chased out left. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a second and 1. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Into the fullback on the dive, and he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man you can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
Again to Elliott, and little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's second and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. it's working.
No gain on the play.
Quick, quick! So! Wait,
Again, it's Elliott. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to get this inside the 30. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
I know you felt that one.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Oh, yeah!
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Here's Vic, eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
Hey, let's go! Double tight. Hey. We got three. Three down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. A second spin. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Hey, let's go! Double tight. Even. 4 down. Even.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Two tights. Double. 3 down. Switch.
Now they'll run it on the toss. The gain of 5 that time gives them the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here. Oh, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because them getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Check, 55 to Mike. Eagle. Quarterback, D-line. Get that. Base 24. D-line, get that quarterback. Check safety. Check.
Here's Elliott. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Odd. 5 down. Stand up in. Kid 21.
across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to solve this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in about the time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt-away-the-game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.